What's going on, people? It's your boy Nando, and I'm reporting for the Pound for Pound Boxing Show. Today, I've got a very special guest, light heavyweight sensation himself, Shakan, who returns to the ring on May 22nd on the Sam Egerton undercard, live on Channel 5, part of Hennessy Sports. Be good to get Shakan on. Obviously, we're going to talk about that fight with Craig Richards back in December, his return to the ring, and what his plans are for the future, who he wants to target. You know, the division right now, Joshua Buatsi, Lyndon Arthur. You got Yarde as well. Maybe a rematch with Craig Richards himself. The return of Callum Johnson. That division right now is proper heating up. So let's get Shakan on. It'll be great to speak to him as well. Just waiting for the champ to come on now. Guys, while we're waiting, remember, go on our Instagram at the Pound for Pound Boxing Show, Twitter, P4_show. And remember our YouTube channel, the Pound for Pound Boxing Show. Remember, subscribe. Click that subscribe and that follow button. You won't be disappointed. We get all the exclusive interviews with all the big names, bring you the exclusive breaking news, fight news and everything. So remember to subscribe. Let's get Shakan on. How you doing, champ?
Yes. How you doing, man? You good?
All good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, all good, man. Just chilled, enjoying a nice Saturday.
That's it, man. That's what Saturdays are all about.
And tell me about it, man. How about yourself? How's things yourself?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. You know, just chilling, waiting for boxing tonight. Obviously, it's what I look forward to every weekend. I'm so glad, obviously, there's fights every single weekend. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Should be some good fights. But it's a good card tonight. Good fight. So, yeah. May tune in myself, man.
100%. Thank God Chisora has decided to fight on.
Yeah, it's just, you know what it is with him, man. He's so controversial, and he just likes to do what he feels is going to get talked about. But he does a good job of doing it. But yeah, he's in a fight on. I think he should have left anyway. Would have faced heavy fines. Not that he probably even cared, because he's faced silly fines before. But yeah, it's good, man. It's everyone's happy and it's all back on.
100%. Before we talk about yourself, our curiosity, you as a fighter, does it matter who walks out first or second?
If I'm, for example, it wouldn't matter, but at the same time, it don't matter because it doesn't matter on the fight, innit? But it does matter when it comes to, say, who is the champ, or you know, that home advantage, right? Being the rightful thing. But it wouldn't be something where I'd feel it affect anything anyway, regards to myself. But of course, I would make it known that, hold on, if I'm the champ for one, or if I'm the home fighter for sure, then I ain't walking out second.
100%. How's training going? You're back in camp, obviously. How's camp been for you?
Yeah, man, camp's been good. It's good to be back in, working on a lot of things, but just being back in the gym environment, it's good anyway. Not that I was out of it anyway, but it's just good being in it. You know, your goal going forward for May 22nd, and one that, you know, I look to make a good statement on.
100%. You've been sparring anyone in particular? Any names?
The sparring a guy in our gym, Steve Woodall's, he's under the radar at the moment, but when he does get out there, man, people know about him. He's a great talent himself. And yeah, we've got a few more other sparring lined up, like cruiserweights, you know, light heavies, all kind of weights really. Steve's a strong, solid fighter himself, though. But I've got sparring lined up.
Amazing. Are you and Sam Egerton still part of the same stable?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're in the same gym, same stable.
Any sparring with him?
Nah, but I'm too heavy for Sam. But I have done like, we've done rounds obviously in the past. You know, it's good for him working on his head movement and things. But it's also good to someone my weight to spar people lighter anyway. You know, they tend to be fast movers and trying to adapt quick with certain things, which myself as well, I'm a good mover. I'm light on my feet and things like that with it. So it's good to spar all kind of weights, to be fair. But we have done sparring before, me and Sam, yeah.
Brilliant. So you're back on May 22nd. You're on Sam's undercard, live on Channel 5, part of Hennessy Sports.
Yeah.
First of all, how does it feel to finally get back in the ring after, what is it, 6 months?
Yeah, brilliant. It's good. As I say, I'm a busy fighter. If you look at my box fit, I've always more or less been busy. But it's good to be back out. It's good to obviously welcome the fans back as well. It's good to fight on such a good platform, Channel 5, terrestrial TV. The viewing numbers is crazy, so it's good to fight back on that. But obviously, of course, myself, my last 2 fights were headline fights. I'd want to obviously get back headlining myself and to title contention. But it's a brilliant card, you know. Sam's obviously fighting for the WBC silver against you know, experienced Mexican, a tough Mexican who comes to fight, so that'd be a good fight.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously Sam's looking tremendous in the gym. So I'm sure, I have no doubt he'll get the job done.
Brilliant. So you're back, obviously. As you said, terrestrial TV is brilliant. What Hennessy Sport is doing with this,
Yeah.
I wish it was every week or every 2 weeks, because
Yeah.
do you know what? Terrestrial TV for me, boxing at the moment is so underrated as a sport, and I get, you know, some people might complain, oh, it's a violent sport, whatever, but it is a sport. It's an exciting sport. It's a sport that is growing massively, not just in the UK, but just worldwide. And Channel 5, I think, need to step up a little bit more and add more to it, because, as you said, the viewing numbers are crazy, because not everyone
Yeah.
can afford Sky, not everyone can afford BT Sport, you know. So it's brilliant for those fans that get to watch some great boxing as well for free, you know. So
That's it. And it does it. And the thing is, the good thing about having free view terrestrial TV, with sport on it, people who wasn't into boxing themselves will just find themselves, you know, latching onto it, getting into
yeah,
it. I've had a few people stop me in general and just be like, you know, I wasn't a boxing fan, but you know, I've watched you a few times, and I've watched obviously the other guys on the cards, and they're now naturally drawn and became fans of ourselves. You know, just from seeing us on there, and of course, the more regular we're out there, on Channel 5, you almost become like a face figure for boxing on Channel 5. You know,
yeah.
for a lot of the new casual fans. So yeah, it's it's good. Yeah, it definitely needs to carry on being pushed out there that way. And like you said, not everyone can afford Sky. So the fact that fans get to enjoy it, you know, free TV and with good cards, brilliant cards on. So what more is there to offer? You know, it's good.
How does it feel when people stop you and say that? Because, you know, it's not the same, but, you know, when I tell people my name's Nando, for the last 20 years, I've been getting Nando's jokes. And
Yeah.
at first, I used to take it to heart, but now I feel special, because obviously it's a big chain. But you being a boxer and being stopped and saying, you know, I saw you on TV, I know who you are, and so on. What is that feeling like?
Yeah, it's good, man. You just gotta embrace it and you know, take it as it comes. You know, I appreciate everyone who, you know, actually takes their time out to even watch my fights. And a lot of people who have stopped me, they said, you know, my journey's inspired them as well and whatever. And obviously, of course, myself, I was someone who's inspired by someone also and inspired by other people. So the fact to get stopped and, you know, for other people to take note of what I'm doing, it's a good feeling. You know, I'm liked in my home city. I'm liked in other places as well. You know, many places I've been, like, and I'm shocked, like, people actually know. But yeah, I just embrace it, man. I just give off the same good energies back what I can. It don't cost anything, you know what I mean? I don't feel I'm any higher or lower than any human being. So I always offer my time back, and we talk to them, you know, and they share whatever they need, what they want to share.
100%. And I just want to say thank you as well for taking your time to speak to me today. So I appreciate that you're giving back as well. So
No
you know,
problem, man. Thanks for having me. No problem.
no, of course, me and my colleague Jermaine, we're massive fans of yours. You know, we've been watching you from your early days, and it's great to have you on. So thank you for
Thank you,
even
man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show for sure. And thanks for following my
anytime,
journey.
anytime. So let's talk about your opponent. You're facing Jermaine Springer, 7 wins, 2 losses. He has fought people with experience, or he's got some experienced people on his resume as well. But looking at his resume, for me, this is a massive step up for him, because for me, you are his toughest opponent by far. What do you know about Jermaine Springer, and what dangers does he bring?
I know he's obviously had a good experienced amateur career. I think he only had a few losses in the amateurs. He's won against some reputable names as well. But you know, he does a lot, obviously, even for his boxing community. I know I've heard of him doing things for his own boxing community, like training with the younger kids and things like that. But you know, as a fighter, he brings his own dangers. Just like, you know, I know what dangers I can bring, and it's important for me to stay switched on and bring my dangers, and you know, adapt and put my style in place, and you know, change anything I need to change on the day or whatever that. But you know, he's a good fighter. He's obviously, his record's decent. Yeah, on paper, I'm his toughest opponent. But as I say, man, I don't take any opponent, you know, lightly. I train hard, as if every fight is a title fight for me, because every fight is a you know, life-changing fight for me. So I'll be taking it very serious. He's a good fighter. And he's one of these fighters as well who are under the radar in the light heavyweight division. So yeah, I like any fight, man, I take it serious. I train hard, and I'll be, you know, in there to put on a good display, man, a dominant display.
I ask all my guests this, and some answer, some don't. Some want to stay professional about it, but is the fight going the distance?
I'm gonna look to get him out there. That's the truth. You know, I'm gonna look to make a statement. I'm gonna look to get him out of there. But I know he's tough. You know, he's only got the one stoppage on his record. Probably was a premature, probably wasn't. You know, I don't know. I know he's tough. I know his game. He's gonna come to bring it. You know, he had a good fight in his last fight. You know, he kept coming forward. So yeah, he's a strong, solid fighter coming forward. But yeah, I'm gonna look to do a job on him, to be honest.
We look forward to it, Shakan style.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. You know it is.
I want to bring someone up. Basically, an old foe of yours. Obviously, he's fighting tonight against Bivol, Craig Richards. I want to ask you: the first question I want to ask, did you ever imagine winning the British title, he will go straight on to fight Bivol for the world title? Because I think it was a shock for everyone when this happened.
I think that fight was it's more or less easy to make, because with them both being in the matchroom stable, it was something more easier for, you know, his promoter Eddie to then make that you know, that fight available for Richards there and that. But it's a good fight. It's a good fight. It's a tough ass for Richards. Bivol's a great fighter. He had a good fight against that Joe Smith?
Smith Jr.
Joe Smith Jr. had a good fight against him, and he's another strong fighter, you know, and he had a good win against him. So I say it's a tough ass, but you know, we all imagine ourselves, and a lot of fighters dream of fighting for a world title. So it's one that, you know, I hope he grabs with both hands, and I wish him the best in it. You know what I mean? It'd be good for British boxing if he could bring it home and win. And
if you was a betting man, I can't hear you. Bear with me. Oh, we've lost them. Let's see if we can get Shakan back on. If you're just tuning in, guys, obviously this ain't live, but if you are tuning in and you kind of went to the middle of the interview, just interviewing Shakan Peters, we'll just talk about Craig Richards' fight tonight against Bivol for the WBA light heavyweight title. It's going to be a massive, massive fight, or WBO. My mind's gone blank, guys. So it's either it's a world title fight. Either way, it's a massive, massive fight for Craig Spider Richards. Massive, massive opportunity. It's a mountain to climb. So I wish him nothing but the best, and hopefully he can bring that gold home. Let's see if we can get Shakan back on.
back on, yeah.
Jam, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear me, yeah.
Perfect. No, I was saying, if you was a betting man, who wins tonight and how?
I'm not really much of a betting man. but it's something where, again, I'd like Richards to do it. But Bivol a good fighter, man. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm a strong believer. Anything can happen in boxing.
Of
This
course.
is why, like, I don't really like to put my predictions out there on the fights. Anything can happen. And this is why, even in my own fights, whoever I'm fighting, I train the best I can be. I'll never overlook any opponent because anything can happen. Um, as long as you've got two arms, that other person's got two arms, anything can happen. But I wish him the best with it, man. That's all I can more or less say on it. It don't affect me. But it's good for British boxing if he does it.
That was going to be my next question, because in a sense of if this fight does affect you at all, because beginning of the interview, you said obviously you want to get back out there and back into a title contention.
Yeah.
My next question was, let's say for argument's sake, Craig Richards, and it is shock the world because Bivol is considered number 2 in the division after Bertbiev. He's going to have to eventually win. If he wins that world title, he's going to vacate the British title. You saying that you want to be back in a title contention, did you mean that to maybe get your hands back on that title, or you past that and maybe go for a Commonwealth or European?
Yeah, I'd like to, if it made sense, massive sense for my career, then yeah, I'd look on it, but I'd rather go for the other titles, push on and even improve my world ranking. I don't ever spend my career, I've never have spent my career watching someone else's journey. By all means, look, I'll 100% want the rematch with Craig. By all means, nothing personal, it's business. I want that rematch. I want to make things right. It was a fight, I believe, and many people said I was winning. It's boxing though, isn't it? Like,
Of course.
The result speaks for itself. I didn't get the win, whatever. Better man won on the day, but I'd 100% want that back. But I'm not gonna spend my career chasing any fighters. I've got to focus on my journey and my career, which is gonna put me in the right direction, and that's all I can do. But yeah, I'd like the other titles. I'd like to pop at the other titles for sure. Higher titles or whatever, improve my world ranking and things like that too as well.
100%. I wanted to ask you. Obviously, I know you obviously believe that and you said a lot, dude, that you were winning that fight. Obviously, no boxer wants a loss on their record. Obviously, you got the likes of Floyd Mayweather that set that an O means everything in boxing. But then you look at the other greats, Canelo, you look at Muhammad Ali, you look at Anthony Joshua right now, Mike Tyson, they all had losses on their record and it made them a much better fighter. Do you believe the loss against Craig Richards was maybe a little blessing in disguise that it happened earlier in your career now? And do you think you've learned a lot from that fight going on forward in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I've I've learned a lot about my character after taking the loss. I'm obviously strongly driven back in the gym, sorry, to wipe any mistakes we feel we may have done and push on forward with it. There's many fighters you can't get over a loss and then end up either quitting or they're not the same fighter. For me, I feel like I have got that mad drive behind me now since the loss to actually want to, more for my own self, do what's right for me, like make that statement, come back more sharp, aggressive, and put everything right. But it's yet to know. Obviously, as I say, May 22nd around the corner. A lot of people will see. But for me, I feel good. Sparring's going well, and everything's going well for me. And I feel good in the gym, fitness wise. Everything's good. I feel sharp, and I look forward to putting on a good display on May 22nd. But as you say, man, a loss, it doesn't define you if you don't allow it to weigh heavy on your heart. And obviously, once you're over all that, then you're back. You just dust yourself off. You go again.
100%. I was speaking to my colleague Jermaine about this when that show was announced, and I saw you on it. We were both happy to see you back on because it just shows your character. Because, like you said, some fighters have taken a loss, and you don't see them back in the ring for another 18 months, another 2 years. The fact that you're back in the ring after 6 months just shows your character and how strong-minded you are. and we were so happy to see you on this card. And as your fans and many of your other fans, we can't wait to see that.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. But yeah, I'm happy to be back, and obviously back on the card straight away. Not too far from my home town. And yeah, man, I look to deliver and get the job done. But I appreciate it. Thanks for obviously, as you're saying, you're happy, you're just happy to see me back on the card and things like that. It's now my job to go out there and show why I'm back, and why I'm back, I should be back in the mix, and push on in my journey. It's more for me, like I say, this boxing career, man. You got a shot at it, and you got to do what's right for you and your family, and that's where I'm at in my headspace. It's only to prove things for me, no one else. Prove what's right for me and my family, and as long as I'm doing that, I'm in the right steed. I'm going the right direction, which I aim to do.
Yeah, and we look forward to it as well. I wanna talk about the division you're in. Obviously, domestically at the moment is just great. It's one of the best divisions out there domestically, alongside, I would say, the welterweight division as well. You beating Jermaine Springer, obviously, like, you are number 6 in the UK. It will put you more higher in that ranking, and you got the likes of, you just saw last weekend Callum Johnson make his return. I'm not trying to get you to call anyone out. I just want your opinion on these fighters. Like, would you, seeing that display with Callum Johnson and going past Jermaine Springer, would you ever welcome like a big domestic fight with the likes of the one Callum Johnson?
Yeah, I'd welcome it with anyone, as long as it made sense. It's got to make sense for my career. It's got to make sense for the direction we want to go in. I'd welcome anyone. You're in the wrong sport if you're, kind of, you don't feel you're the best or can be number one in that division. That's what I feel. I'll take on anyone as long as it made sense in my division. But Callum Johnson, he done good, man. He had his 2-year spell out. Against he come back in straight with a tough guy. Whereas from Croatia or something like that. I think it was from one of them places. But it was a tough opponent, and obviously we all know he comes forward. He looks to get someone out, get them out there. He got him out there. Got him out there a lot sooner. Obviously, probably was more of a rush performance, getting him out there. But he looked good, man. He looked impressive. Showing that he still got power, his power, and he's a man on a mission, on it. But it's good to see him back, man, because people like him is also adding to the mix of the division as well. Why the light heavyweight division's a good division. So yeah, I'd welcome fight with anyone as long as it made sense for my career.
Was you impressed with the shot he took in the first round? Then
yeah, man, 100%. That was a big shot. And yeah, man, he stayed up. So yeah, that was impressive. I'll give him that. It was a good shot. He took that.
Yeah, I got a little bit worried there. I thought we were going to have a Lennox Clark, Willie Hutchison moment there. I thought it was going to be a shock. Like, like a return and straight away. I thought he wobbled him, but the way he recovered was just unbelievable, and then just finished him off in the second. So it's great to see him back in the division. I think the division needs someone like Callum Johnson as well in the mix.
Yeah, 100%, man. As you said, the light heavyweight division is very competitive, man. In this top 10 and that, and in general, the division's thriving. So yeah, I look forward to these fights and things, man, going forward.
Another one. I know you said you will welcome anyone, but another mix that I think you will be more interested in the Callum Johnson one is the whole Lyndon Arthur with Anthony Yarde. Obviously, they're talking about Yarde's team wants that rematch. Yarde is saying he wants to target Joe Smith Jr. That might be a possibility now that he's number 1 in the WBO, which means he might.
Lyndon Arthur wants to target Joe Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he targets Joe Smith Jr. and Anthony Yarde is entitled to that rematch with the Commonwealth, might be a case that they're saying that Lyndon might have to vacate that Commonwealth title, which brings you into it now as well. How do you feel of the possibility? I know you said you'll fight anyone, but the possibility of a vacant Commonwealth title against Anthony Yarde, how big would that fight be?
Be a good fight, be a big fight. Again, as long as it makes sense, man. Like I said, I ain't had the Commonwealth title. We'll push that direction no matter who it is. But as I say, Commonwealth and all these titles improve your world ranking. It pushes you in the right steed as well. And yeah, I welcome all these fights, man. That's what I'm in it for. You know, I'm in my position and want to be number one in the division, so I'm gonna have to fight these guys eventually. So yeah, I'd welcome any of those guys.
Brilliant. We look forward to that, and I hope you get the opportunity with one of these guys as well.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I just want to bring up your stablemate again, Sam Egerton. Obviously, his last fight was a super welterweight. He's going up to middleweight now, and he's fighting for the WBC silver middleweight title against an experienced Mexican in Molina. You said he's looking great in the gym. Obviously, not looking past his opponent. Let's say that night he gets the job done.
Yeah.
The middleweight division, again, another division that domestically is just heating up as well. You personally, who would you want to see Sam Egerton in the ring with? Because you got Felix Cash, you got Liam Williams, you got Danny Dignam. You know what? You could still put Denzel Bentley in it. You could still put the English champion Linus Adofia in it. You know, Chris Eubank Jr., Marcus Morrison, if he gets a shock tonight. Who would you like Sam to get in the ring with?
Again, Sam's won many of these belts. What you know, these titles, what a lot of these middleweights hold already. I know not at that weight, but he's won them belts. And when you win these belts, it has to really make a lot of sense for you to want to come back down to fight for them. But also, you've got to be true to yourself and realize, you know, once you do go past them, then you're gonna be at a level where, you know, you got to maintain that level there as well. So that's something also to look at for, you know, any fighter in their career. But I think Sam has got a good, you know, world ranking in some of the sanctions. So I'm sure, again, for himself, he's been in tough competitive fights. He's fought, you know, many British domestic battles as well. Would it be one he's interested in? I don't know. That's between him and his manager, you know, his manager. But I'm sure he'd be more interested to probably push on from that. But I know he would have wanted the Ted Cheeseman rematch.
Yeah.
That was probably more on his radar. But who knows, man? He's won these bouts though, innit? So if he'd want to make the step back to actually fight for them and be a two-weight champion, then that's down to him. But me personally, I'd want to obviously push on to the world titles and things like that, especially since I've already had like the British, the European and things like that. So
yeah,
that's what I'd want to.
So for me, looking at that list of names, the only names that would make sense for Sam, in my opinion, to push on for a world title shot because of their ranking in the world title contention is probably Chris Eubank Jr. if he wins tonight, or Liam Williams because he's still up there despite the loss to Demetrius Andrade. So
yeah,
and
but
he's only 27. Sam, he's been around for ages.
Yeah, he's been around for long, and Sam's big for the weight, but it's all how he feels and, you know, in himself, you know, staying at middleweight as well. That's the only thing. Like if you feel like you can go back down and be more stronger at that weight and comfortable there, then fine. But it all depends as well how he'd feel and adapt at middleweight. But yeah, it's up to him, man. It's his career, man. I wouldn't like to make any, you know, judgment on what he may do or whatever because I don't know. That's the honest truth. I don't know what he'd feel or if he feel that's his natural weight to do. But I know he's looking good in the gym at that weight, and you know, who knows what the future holds for Sam.
100%, because even if he stays at middleweight, it goes back to super welterweight. There's so many big fights out there.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Yeah,
even Josh Kelly, he might go to 154. That could be a great domestic fight right there. So he's got so many choices there. So many choices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good when you can go up and down like that, and you know, you got a lot of choices in it.
Shaka, I want to ask you one question because I ask all my guests this. We're going to do a highlight reel of everyone's answer. Hopefully, when the fight gets over the line, the biggest fight in British boxing history, you got Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, potentially in Saudi Arabia. Who wins and why?
again, my answer stays the same in the sense where it changes all the time, my answer. Because you've got Joshua who's explosive, he's strong, he's powerful. Um, he can box. He's proven when he even fought Ruiz, he can box as well. But again, Tyson Fury demolished Deontay Wilder in their last fight. So and even now that he's on the Sugar and that he's with the Conk Gym, he's showing they are known for more pushing for that knockout attitude, that knockout. So for him to come back how he did, and literally just went right through him like that, showed a different fighter and showed what he can do and showed that he has got power himself. And he's a very good boxer. So my decision always changes. One week I'm like, Joshua maybe, and this week I'm like probably like Tyson Fury. So honestly, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. If I had a gun to my head, I'd probably go with Fury because I know what he brings, like the boxing ability he brings, and just from his last performance. But again, it wouldn't be one I'm confident with because Anthony Joshua has fought so many champions in his name. Look at his resume. His resume in his last like 10 fights or something has been ridiculous, crazy. So I wouldn't be, you know what I mean? Again, that's why next week I'll change and say, Joshua, like all these things come to my head. So I honestly don't know, man. It's a
What I'll
good
do
fight.
is I'll message you on the day and ask
Message
you on
me on
the
the
day.
day. Message me on the day, and then you get a true
That's it.
answer.
Perfect. Shakan, before I let you go, do you have a message for the fans and what to expect on May 22nd?
Yeah, just a great performance for myself. I'm itching and I can't wait to be back in. Thank you for everyone for following my journey. And I just can't wait, man, to just show everyone what why I'm back, what I'm capable of. Because so many other people, man, out there have tried to, add their little two pence comments in and probably feel like I'm out the mix or whatever and things like that. But I'm just gonna come back in there, man, and do what I do best, and literally get the winning style and push on from there. But like I said, May 22nd, I've got to focus on that, and then I'll think about anything else after that.
Amazing. Any last message for Jermaine Springer?
It's cool, man. It's business. Thanks for taking a fight, man. I'll see you May 22nd. That's all, really, man.
Brilliant. Shakan, I want to say thank you for taking your time to speak to us today. It was a pleasure to finally speak to you, and we can't wait to see you back in action on May 22nd and push on for more titles and world honors as well.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me on the show.
Anytime. Take care and stay safe.
And you, man. Take care.
Take care, man.